Everything in your life begins with a thought. The moment you realize that the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life, everything changes. Many people look at wealth as something that comes from hard work, luck, or external circumstances. But the truth is, wealth is created first in the mind. Every millionaire, every successful entrepreneur, every person who has ever achieved financial freedom started by cultivating the right mindset. Your mind is like fertile soil, and every thought you plant is like a seed. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, you will grow nothing but struggle, scarcity, and frustration. But if you plant seeds of belief, opportunity, and abundance, you will grow a life filled with prosperity, freedom, and joy. A universe does not distinguish between positive and negative thoughts. It simply magnifies what you hold in your mind. So the question you must ask yourself is, what am I holding in my mind right now? Most people allow negative thoughts, past failures, and self-doubt to control their minds, and as a result, they attract outcomes that match those thoughts. If you constantly think, I can't afford this, or I will never be successful, your subconscious mind accepts that as truth and works tirelessly to make it a reality. Wealth does not come to those who wish for it. It comes to those who think it, believe it, and expect it. This is why understanding the power of your thoughts is the single most important rule on the journey to financial abundance. You must become aware of the chatter in your mind. You must start observing your thoughts like a scientist, noting which thoughts lift you up and which thoughts pull you down. Most people never do this. They let the mind run wild like a river without banks, and then they wonder why their lives feel chaotic and unfulfilled. Your mind must be trained. You must deliberately feed it ideas of wealth, of success, and of possibility every single day. Reading books about success, listening to motivational talks, and surrounding yourself with people who think big are not optional, they are essential. Every successful person understands that the mind is the first step, the foundation, and without it, no amount of external effort will bring lasting results. Another key aspect is understanding that thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are vibrations that influence your action. When you think with clarity and purpose about wealth, your actions automatically align with those thoughts. Your mind becomes a magnet, attracting ideas, opportunities, and people that match the frequency of your thinking. Conversely, if your thoughts are scattered, negative, or fearful, your actions will reflect that confusion, and you will attract outcomes that mirror your inner chaos. This is why the rich do not simply work harder. They think differently. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They believe in possibilities where others see limitations. They know that wealth is not a matter of circumstance. It is a matter of mindset. Cultivating the right thoughts requires discipline. It requires spending time every day consciously shaping your inner dialogue. When negative thoughts arise, you must replace them with thoughts of hope, possibility, and confidence. When fear tries to take hold, you must remind yourself that every great achievement in history started with a thought that someone dared to believe. The mind is incredibly powerful, but only when it is directed intentionally. Random thoughts produce random results. Focused, deliberate thoughts produce extraordinary results. You must also understand that your beliefs are the foundation of your thoughts. If you believe that wealth is difficult, that money is scarce, or that you do not deserve abundance, no amount of effort will overcome those beliefs. Beliefs are like roots. They nourish every thought you have. Change your beliefs and your thoughts will follow. Change your thoughts and your life will follow. Another crucial principle is visualization. The mind responds to images and feelings as if they were real. When you clearly visualize yourself living a life of wealth and abundance, experience the emotions that come with it, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality. This is why athletes visualize winning before they step onto the field. Why successful people picture themselves achieving their goals every day. And why ordinary people remain stuck. They fail to harness this incredible power within them. Thoughts are not abstract. They are the invisible architects of your reality. They create patterns of behavior, attract circumstances, and influence the decisions you make. The more you understand this, the more control you gain over your destiny. You are not a passive observer in your life. You are an active creator, and your thoughts are the primary tools of creation. By taking control of your mind, by consistently feeding it thoughts of wealth, abundance, and possibility, you are laying the groundwork for every rule that follows. The moment you realize that you can control your thoughts, that you can deliberately choose which seeds to plant You step into a realm of personal power that few ever experience. The rich understand this intuitively. But now it is time for you to understand it consciously. Your journey toward wealth does not begin with a bank account, a business plan, or even a lucky break. It begins with a single thought. That thought, nurtured, focused, and repeated, has the power to change everything. Having a clear and definite purpose is the difference between drifting through life and creating extraordinary success. Most people wander through their days with no real destination, reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. They work hard, but their efforts are scattered, unfocused, and ultimately ineffective. To achieve wealth and abundance, you must have a clear picture of exactly what you want, and you must be willing to pursue it relentlessly. Definite purpose acts as a magnetic force, pulling opportunities, resources, and the right people toward you. Without it, your energy dissipates into trivialities and distractions, leaving you exhausted but still far from your goals. It is not enough to say, I want to be rich or I want to succeed. Those are vague statements that the mind cannot grasp fully. The human mind responds to specificity. The more detailed and precise your vision, the more powerful your actions become. You must define the amount of money you desire, the lifestyle you want, the kind of people you wish to associate with, and even the impact you want to leave behind. This level of clarity ignites a passion within that cannot be extinguished by temporary setbacks, criticism, or failure. Once you are clear about your purpose, every decision you make becomes aligned with it. Your actions become deliberate instead of random. Opportunities that previously went unnoticed now stand out clearly because your mind is attuned to recognize them. The law of focus states that what you focus on expands, and having a definite purpose gives your focus a direction. People without a definite purpose often chase fleeting desires, trying to satisfy every whim, or following trends that promise instant gratification but deliver nothing substantial. They end up with scattered efforts, wasted resources, and frustration. A person with definite purpose, on the other hand, is like an arrow shot from a bow, powerful, precise, and unstoppable. This is why the rich rarely stumble upon wealth by accident. They have a clear goal, a definite target, and they pursue it with all the intensity of a laser beam. Everything they think, say, and do is in service of that purpose. Developing a definite purpose also requires writing it down. Putting your goals in writing makes them tangible, real, and permanent in your mind. The act of writing forces you to clarify what you truly want and allows your subconscious mind to start working on solutions without conscious effort. Read your written purpose every day. Visualize it vividly and feel the emotions of already having achieved it. This constant reinforcement shapes your behavior, attracts resources, and programs your mind for success. Purpose without action is useless, but action without purpose is chaos. Many people work tirelessly yet go nowhere because they lack clarity. Every step they take is a guess, a reaction to the world around them, rather than a calculated movement toward a specific goal. Definite purpose provides a roadmap, allowing you to navigate obstacles, adapt strategies, and maintain momentum even in challenging circumstances. Another powerful aspect of definite purpose is that it fuels persistence. When challenges arise and they will, the clarity of your goal keeps you moving forward. Without purpose, it's easy to quit at the first sign of difficulty, to accept mediocrity, and to settle for less than you are capable of achieving. A definite purpose transforms setbacks into lessons, failures into stepping stones, and obstacles into opportunities. It creates a mindset that is resilient, confident, and unstoppable. Your purpose also shapes your environment. When you are clear about what you want, you naturally attract people, ideas, and situations that support your goal. Your network becomes aligned with your vision, your habits reinforce your mission, and your energy resonates with abundance. Conversely, vague goals or lack of purpose attract confusion, wasted time, and negative influences that drain your energy. Understanding your definite purpose also means knowing why you want what you want. Motivation rooted in a deep reason behind your desire is far more powerful than superficial goals. Whether your purpose is freedom, security, legacy, or impact, connecting emotionally to your goal ignites a fire that cannot be extinguished. This emotional connection sustains action, sharpens focus, and accelerates growth. In truth, a person with a definite purpose has already won half the battle. The mind cannot help but move toward what it clearly understands. Energy, creativity, and opportunities align themselves with that purpose. The universe responds to clarity with precision, delivering the people, resources, and circumstances needed to manifest your vision. The difference between the rich and the average is rarely luck or talent it is. The clarity of purpose and the unwavering commitment to pursue it relentlessly. Every rule of wealth, every principle of success builds on the foundation of definite purpose. Without it, no strategy, no plan, and no effort will yield lasting results. The law of giving and receiving is one of the most powerful principles on the path to wealth, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Many people believe that to become rich, they must take as much as they can from others. That success is about competition, scarcity, and outdoing everyone around them. This mindset is the opposite of what creates lasting abundance. True wealth flows naturally to those who understand that giving is the first step in receiving. That the more value you provide to the world, the more the world responds by rewarding you in kind. Giving is not simply about money. It is about service, contribution, and creating value in every interaction, every relationship, and every opportunity. When you give your time, your energy, your knowledge, or your resources to help others succeed, you are planting seeds that will return to you multiplied. The universe responds to the vibration of generosity. When you genuinely help others, doors open that you could not have anticipated. Opportunities, ideas, and wealth flow to those who are committed to making a positive impact. This principle is not a theory. It is a law as absolute as gravity. To ignore it is to ignore the natural order of prosperity. Many people hold the false belief that giving diminishes what they have. They cling to their money, their time, and their ideas, thinking that scarcity is the only reality. This is a mindset of limitation, and it produces limited results. In contrast, those who embrace giving with an open heart discover that life responds with abundance. Giving creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment that attracts more of the same. Wealth becomes a byproduct of the value you bring, and not the sole aim of your efforts. Understanding the law of giving and receiving requires shifting your focus from how much can I get to how much can I give. When your goal is to genuinely serve others, the energy you emit transforms your life. People want to do business with, invest in, and support those who add value to their lives. Generosity is magnetic. It builds trust, reputation, and influence, all of which are essential currencies in the creation of wealth. Another key aspect is the mindset of abundance. Giving requires belief in abundance, that there is more than enough for everyone, that sharing does not create loss, and that your actions will be rewarded in ways you may not yet see. This mindset is the foundation of wealth consciousness. Without it, fear and scarcity dominate, and opportunities pass unnoticed or unused. Giving also strengthens your emotional and mental faculties. It teaches patience, empathy, and understanding. It aligns your mind with positivity and possibility. When you approach life from a giving perspective, you are no longer focused on competition or comparison, but on collaboration, growth, and contribution. The results are transformative. You attract mentors, partners, clients, and friends who share your vision and amplify your efforts. Wealth is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural expression of your value to the world. Giving creates a ripple effect. When you help one person succeed, that person is likely to help others, and your influence expands far beyond your immediate actions. This principle is seen in every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, and every philanthropist in history. They understood that giving first was the secret to receiving abundantly. Even in business, those who focus solely on profit without adding value often fail. But those who prioritize the satisfaction, growth, and success of their customers, clients, and communities experience lasting wealth and loyalty that money alone cannot buy. Giving also requires courage and faith. You must be willing to invest time, effort, and sometimes resources without the guarantee of immediate return. This act of faith demonstrates trust in the natural flow of life and reinforces your alignment with abundance. The universe does not measure giving by size. It measures it by intent. A single act of genuine service can create opportunities far greater than you could imagine. When you consistently apply this law, you create a momentum that carries you toward wealth effortlessly. Your energy, your relationships, and your actions all begin to resonate with prosperity. Receiving then becomes a natural consequence of your giving. not something forced or pursued. This principle teaches that wealth is not just about accumulation, but about circulation. Money, opportunities, knowledge, and resources must flow. When you hoard, stagnation occurs, but when you give free, the flow continues, and the universe responds by replenishing and multiplying what you offer. The law works for everyone, but only those who understand, embrace, and practice it can experience the fullness of its power. The path to wealth is not merely through transactions or hard work alone, it is through understanding that true success is the result of serving, contributing, and giving firstly lasting results. The law of giving and receiving is one of the most powerful principles on the path to wealth, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Many people believe that to become rich, they must take as much as they can from others, that success is about competition, scarcity, and outdoing everyone around them. This mindset is the opposite of what creates lasting abundance. True wealth flows naturally to those who understand that giving is the first step in receiving, that the more value you provide to the world, the more the world responds by rewarding you in kind. Giving is not simply about money. It is about service, contribution, and creating value in every interaction, every relationship, and every opportunity. When you give your time, your energy, your knowledge, or your resources to help others succeed, you are planting seeds that will return to you multiplied. The universe responds to the vibration of generosity. When you genuinely help others, doors open that you could not have anticipated. Opportunities, ideas, and wealth flow to those who are committed to making a positive impact. This principle is not a theory. It is a law as absolute as gravity. To ignore it is to ignore the natural order of prosperity. Many people hold the false belief that giving diminishes what they have. They cling to their money, their time, and their ideas, thinking that scarcity is the only reality. This is a mindset of limitation, and it produces limited results. In contrast, those who embrace giving with an open heart discover that life responds with abundance. Giving creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment that attracts more of the same. Wealth becomes a byproduct of the value you bring and not the sole aim of your efforts. Understanding the law of giving and receiving requires shifting your focus from how much can I get to how much can I give. When your goal is to genuinely serve others, the energy you emit transforms your life. People want to do business with, invest in, and support those who add value to their lives. Generosity is magnetic. It builds trust, reputation, and influence, all of which are essential currencies in the creation of wealth. Another key aspect is the mindset of abundance. Giving requires belief in abundance, that there is more than enough for everyone, that sharing does not create loss, and that your actions will be rewarded in ways you may not yet see. This mindset is the foundation of wealth consciousness. Without it, fear and scarcity dominate, and opportunities pass unnoticed or unused. Giving also strengthens your emotional and mental faculties. It teaches patience, empathy, and understanding. It aligns your mind with positivity and possibility. When you approach life from a giving perspective, you are no longer focused on competition or comparison, but on collaboration, growth, and contribution. The results are transformative. You attract mentors, partners, clients, and friends who share your vision and amplify your efforts. Wealth is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural expression of your value to the world. Giving creates a ripple effect. When you help one person succeed, that person is likely to help others, and your influence expands far beyond your immediate action. This principle is seen in every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, and every philanthropist in history. They understood that giving first was the secret to receiving abundantly. Even in business, those who focus solely on profit without adding value often fail. But those who prioritize the satisfaction, growth, and success of their customers, clients, and communities experience lasting wealth and loyalty that money alone cannot buy. Giving also requires courage and faith. You must be willing to invest time, effort, and sometimes resources without the guarantee of immediate return. This act of faith demonstrates trust in the natural flow of life and reinforces your alignment with abundance. The universe does not measure giving by size, it measures it by intent. A single act of genuine service can create opportunities far greater than you could imagine. When you consistently apply this law, you create a momentum that carries you toward wealth effortlessly. Your energy, your relationships, and your actions all begin to resonate with prosperity. Receiving then becomes a natural consequence of your giving, not something forced, or pursued. This principle teaches that wealth is not just about accumulation, but about circulation. Money, opportunities, knowledge, and resources must flow. When you hoard, stagnation occurs, but when you give freely, the flow continues. And the universe responds by replenishing and multiplying what you offer. The law works for everyone, but only those who understand, embrace, and practice it can experience the fullness of its power. The path to wealth is not merely through transactions or hard work alone. It is through understanding that true success is the result of serving, contributing, and giving first. Taking 100% responsibility for your life is one of the most liberating principles you will ever embrace, yet it is also one of the most difficult for people to fully accept. Most individuals spend their lives blaming circumstances, other people, or external events for the outcomes they experience. They say things like, I can't succeed because of the economy, or I would be wealthy if only I had a better education, or I am stuck because my boss doesn't recognize my value. Every excuse, every attempt to shift blame outside yourself is a step away from true power and freedom. When you take full responsibility, you recognize that your life is the direct result of your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions. This is not a statement of blame. It is a statement of empowerment. It means that regardless of where you are right now, you have the power to change everything. No one else is in control of your destiny. Your success, your wealth, your happiness, and your fulfillment are all directly linked to your willingness to take ownership of your circumstances. Taking responsibility requires honesty. You must look in the mirror, acknowledge the truth about where you are, without excuses, without rationalization, and without minimizing the role you have played in creating your current reality. This act of brutal honesty is the first step toward change. Because until you accept responsibility, you are powerless to create anything different. Excuses and blame are comforting. They allow you to remain a victim of circumstance. But victims never attract wealth. Victims never command respect. Victims never create a life of freedom. Only those who accept responsibility take control of the steering wheel of their life and direct it toward the destination they desire. Responsibility also means recognizing that your choices, no matter how small, compound over time to create your reality. The person who consistently procrastinates, doubts, or chooses comfort over growth will naturally experience a life of limitation. Conversely, the person who chooses discipline, persistence, and deliberate action daily begins to see their life shift in extraordinary ways. Every decision matters. And when you embrace this principle, you become conscious of the impact of your actions, thoughts, and words. This awareness transforms ordinary efforts into powerful momentum. Taking 100% responsibility is also about owning your emotions. Many people allow fear, anger, resentment, or regret to dictate their behavior, and then blame their results on these feelings. But when you take responsibility, you understand that you control your emotional state. You can choose to react positively, constructively, and proactively, rather than allowing external events to control your inner world. Wealthy and successful people do not wait for circumstances to be perfect. They act despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty. They understand that their emotional mastery is a prerequisite for lasting success. Another aspect of responsibility is understanding that setbacks are not punishments but lessons. When something does not go as planned, a responsible person does not complain or blame. They ask, what can I learn? How can I improve? What action will get me closer to my goal? This mindset turns challenges into opportunities and failures into stepping stones toward mastery and wealth. Taking responsibility also means refusing to be a passive observer of life. You do not wait for opportunities to come to you, you create them. You do not wait for luck. You generate results through deliberate action and strategic thinking. Every action you take is an investment in the life you desire, and every inaction is a cost that accumulates over time. This principle builds self-reliance, confidence, and resilience because it reinforces the truth that you are capable of shaping your reality. Those who avoid responsibility remain at the mercy of circumstances and external forces, and they perpetually feel frustrated, powerless, and stuck. But the moment you accept that every outcome in your life is a reflection of your own input, your perspective changes, and so do your results. Responsibility is not a burden. It is freedom. It frees you from blaming others, from feeling powerless, and from waiting for permission or validation. It empowers you to take massive action, to make bold decisions, and to pursue wealth with unwavering commitment. It transforms you into a creator rather than a consumer, a leader rather than a follower, and a magnet for opportunities rather than a victim of circumstances. Taking 100% responsibility is the foundation upon which all other rules of wealth are built. You cannot achieve abundance, success, or fulfillment if you refuse to own your life. Every thought, every belief, every action, and every result becomes meaningful when you accept full responsibility, because you understand that the quality of your life is entirely up to you, and the power to change it has always been within your hands. Mastering your emotions and beliefs is one of the most critical steps on the path to wealth, yet it is one of the most overlooked. Most people live their entire lives at the mercy of their emotions, allowing fear, doubt, anger, frustration, or impatience to dictate their decisions, actions, and ultimately their results. The reality is that your emotions are the driving force behind everything you do, whether you are conscious of it or not. If your feelings are negative, your actions will reflect doubt and limitation. If your beliefs are limiting, your opportunities and results will be restricted to what your mind can accept as possible. Wealth and success are not merely the result of external factors. They are the outcome of the internal environment you cultivate within your mind and heart. Every successful individual understands that mastery over their emotions and beliefs is not optional, it is essential. Your beliefs act as the blueprint for your reality. Whatever you truly believe, whether consciously or unconsciously, shapes the way you perceive the world, the choices you make, and the actions you take. If you hold beliefs of scarcity, unworthiness, or failure, no amount of effort, education, or hard work will produce lasting results. These limiting beliefs act like invisible barriers, preventing you from stepping into the life you desire. To achieve wealth, you must first identify and challenge these beliefs. You must question every assumption that has kept you small and replace it with empowering beliefs that support abundance, growth, and success. This process requires honesty, reflection, and persistence, because your subconscious mind has been reinforcing these beliefs for years, even decades. Emotions are equally powerful. They are the fuel for your beliefs, the energy behind your actions, and the magnet that attracts experiences into your life. When you are dominated by negative emotions, such as fear, worry, resentment, or doubt, you are unconsciously broadcasting those vibrations to the universe, and you attract circumstances that match them. On the other hand, positive emotions such as gratitude, confidence, excitement, and love create momentum that draws opportunities, people, and resources to you. Mastering emotions does not mean suppressing them or pretending to feel something you do not. It means understanding them, observing them, and choosing how you respond. It means taking control of your inner state so that you are always aligned with your highest potential and your goals. One of the most effective ways to master emotions and beliefs is through conscious repetition and focus. Every thought you allow repeatedly shapes the neural pathways in your brain, strengthening your beliefs and emotional patterns. By deliberately focusing on thoughts that reinforce abundance, possibility, and confidence, you retrain your mind to operate in alignment with success. Visualization, affirmations, and meditative practices are all tools that help anchor these positive emotions and beliefs, allowing them to influence your subconscious and your daily actions. Another critical principle is recognizing the difference between facts and interpretation. Most people react emotionally to their interpretations of events rather than the events themselves. By mastering your beliefs, you begin to interpret situations through a lens of opportunity and possibility rather than fear and limitation. You begin to ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? How can I turn this into an advantage? Rather than feeling powerless or victimized. Wealthy individuals understand that mastery over their inner world is non-negotiable. No external circumstance, market condition, or competitor can limit them. If their beliefs and emotions are aligned with abundance and possibility, they operate from a place of control, not reaction, which allows them to make clear, confident decisions, take bold action, and persevere despite challenges. Mastering emotions and beliefs also means taking responsibility for what you feel and think. It requires awareness and accountability, because every emotion and belief you hold has consequences. If you feel fear, it is because you have chosen, consciously or unconsciously, to focus on limitation. If you feel doubt, it is because you have accepted beliefs that do not support your goals. By shifting your focus and consciously choosing empowering beliefs, you can change the trajectory of your life. This mastery is not instantaneous, It is a daily practice, a commitment to observing yourself, catching negative emotions or limiting beliefs as they arise, and replacing them with thoughts and feelings that support the reality you want to create. It is the foundation of personal power and the gateway to wealth. Those who master their emotions and beliefs do not merely react to life, they create it. They understand that thoughts and feelings are not trivial. They are the architects of reality. Every action they take is reinforced by a mindset that expects success, welcomes opportunity, and embraces abundance. Every setback is met with resilience. Every challenge is seen as a stepping stone. And every interaction is an opportunity to expand influence and value. In truth, wealth is as much a state of mind as it is a state of finances and mastery. Your inner world ensures that the outer world will align accordingly. Those who fail to master their emotions and beliefs may work tirelessly, acquire knowledge, and chase opportunities, but without this mastery, the results are inconsistent, fleeting, and unfulfilling. Consistent action and persistence are the engines that drive every person from dreams to reality. Knowledge, ideas, and intention are meaningless without action. An action that is inconsistent produces scattered results. Many people have great visions, read countless books, and attend seminars, but they fail to take deliberate, repeated steps toward their goals. They expect that understanding a principle or learning a method will somehow create wealth on its own, but the universe rewards those who not only know what to do, but who actually do it day after day without fail. Consistent action creates momentum. Momentum is the force that transforms small, seemingly insignificant steps into massive results over time. It is not the occasional burst of effort that produces success. It is the daily, persistent commitment to move forward, regardless of obstacles, distractions, or temporary failures. Each action you take compounds upon the previous one, building a foundation that cannot be easily shaken by circumstance. Persistence is the companion of consistent action. Every path to wealth is littered with challenges, setbacks, and moments that test your determination. Those who give up at the first sign of difficulty remain average, while those who persist see obstacles as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Persistence is not stubbornness without strategy. It is a willingness to keep moving, to adjust when necessary, but to never abandon the vision you have committed yourself to. One of the greatest distinctions between the wealthy and the average is their relationship with failure. The persistent individual understands that failure is not a verdict but a lesson, a signal, that a different approach is required or that a new strategy must be implemented. Each setback is a step forward if met with analysis, adjustment, and renewed action. Consistent action and persistence also cultivate confidence. Each small achievement, each milestone reached, reinforces the belief that you are capable, that progress is possible, and that your goals are within reach. Confidence, in turn, fuels further action, creating a cycle of success that accelerates as you continue to move forward. Without consistent action, even the clearest vision and the most empowering beliefs remain dormant. Dreams must be activated through repeated effort, through showing up each day, even when motivation wanes, even when results are not immediately visible, and even when doubt creeps into the mind. The disciplined application of effort separates the person who achieves financial freedom from the person who only wishes for it. Another essential aspect is focus. Consistent action is powerful when it is directed toward a clear goal. Random activity, even if persistent, produces random results. Every action you take must be intentional, aligned with your purpose, and aimed at creating measurable progress. This is why clarity of vision, definite purpose, and mastery of beliefs are all prerequisites for action that produces lasting wealth. Persistence is also built on resilience. Life will inevitably test your commitment through unforeseen challenges, market fluctuations, personal obstacles, and moments of self-doubt. Resilience allows you to recover quickly, learn from mistakes, and continue moving forward with renewed energy. Those who lack persistence often give up at the first sign of adversity, never realizing that breakthrough was just around the corner. Habit is another critical component of consistent action. Success is rarely the result of sporadic effort. It is the product of daily routines, disciplines, and habits that reinforce progress over time. By establishing patterns of action that support your goals, you make success automatic, reducing reliance on fleeting motivation and strengthening your long-term results. The combination of persistence and consistent action also inspires others. Leaders, mentors, and collaborators are drawn to people who show up relentlessly, who take responsibility, and who refuse to quit. Opportunities, partnerships, and resources naturally gravitate toward those who demonstrate unwavering commitment. It is important to understand that consistent action does not mean working harder blindly. It means working smarter, applying knowledge, testing strategies, and refining approaches while maintaining a steady pace. The universe rewards those who are committed not only in thought but in tangible effort. Those who understand that success is not instantaneous, but is the result of repeated, purposeful steps. Action without persistence is like starting a fire with damp wood. It sputters and dies. Persistence without action is like having a key without a door. To open it leads nowhere. Together, they create a force so powerful that it can overcome almost any obstacle, outlast almost any competitor, and bring into reality visions that once seemed impossible. The people who achieve extraordinary wealth understand that there are no shortcuts, that brilliance alone is insufficient, and that fortune favors those who continue to show up, take deliberate steps, and push forward relentlessly, knowing that every small action compounds into monumental results over time.